Hi, I'm John Twist of University Motors, and I just got cleaned up because I just got done power washing the inside of my shop because I'm done with this project. And when you're done with a project, you clean up. So I was filthy dirty. I'm no poser. That's what they told me with my hands, and my boots are wet and filthy dirty too. But that's not what I came to talk about. I came to talk about this 1973 MGB GT, which my daughter purchased last year about this time from way up north in Wisconsin. I mean, it was almost to Duluth. We got the car here, and we're just going to do some stuff to it. Well, one thing leads to another, right? Mission creep, that's the danger in all this kind of stuff. So in the end, we took this car, which was manufactured in 673, so it's 48 years old, and I took everything off the car. I did not take out the glass at the front or the glass on the back light. Everything else came out. The rear suspension, the differential, all the lines from the back to the front, the gas tank, the whole interior, the gearbox, the engine, everything underneath the bonnet. And I didn't necessarily replace everything with new. I just cleaned it up because we didn't paint the car. Car looks pretty good. You can take an existing car and take it to a prep shop, used car prep shop, and it's a lot cheaper to have them touch it up and buff it, and it comes looking like this rather than 10, 15 grand for a complete repaint. I mean, there's no substitute for a complete repaint, but then you're afraid to drive the car. This one, all the dings have been touched up, and some of the rust which is coming through the fender is still evident here, bubbling up from the underside, but that'll be a long time. It's going to California, so it'll be a long time before that actually pops. Plus, I had the panels out from underneath and cleaned it in there and undercoated it, so there shouldn't be any more rust. Easy enough said. So, fun things that happened during this. When we got it, it had these giant spring helpers on the back, huge, jacked up the back end, just fiercely. Wonder why. Leaf springs didn't look that bad. I sent the leaf springs out and had them rebuilt, got them in, put it back in, rebuilt the differential. I used brass washers underneath the pinion and differential wheels, not the plastic ones which came with the car, but earlier ones from a Banjo diff, a lot stronger, they don't tear up. Got it all done, new seals, the whole works, put it all together. When I went to put the wheels on later, guess what? It was a wire wheel diff. So I ended up having to make some aluminum spacers on with a 4.5-inch bolt pattern to push the rear wheels out. And then of course I had to put longer studs in the hubs, and big project. But anyway, you just run into all kinds of crazy stuff. So we did the interior. Let me have you come around and take a look at the interior. This is pretty sweet. There's my daughter's Singer sewing. Actually, it's her late mother's Singer sewing machine in there, going out to California, with a gear shift knob provided to us. Is very kind gift. And anyway, the interior is from Newton Commercial. We bought it from Victoria, but I think Moss has those. Newton Commercial. Took the doors all the way apart, put new seals on, greased it all up. The doors close nicely. Some of the stuff pops out. There's always some of the stuff that you buy today just hasn't got the same quality that the old stuff did. Therefore, I rebuilt the switches on the dash. I rebuilt all those. I didn't buy new ones. And we put overdrive in the car. And then, oh my gosh, let me open the bonnet. We put in air conditioning. That was a major project, to say the least. I'd never done it before. I've taken lots of air conditioners out, but put very few in. So here's the condenser with the extra fan, relays on the headlights, a charger mounted right inside here, so all you gotta do is plug it in, battery maintenance. Alternator sits high because the compressor for the air conditioning is underneath. So this past weekend, I drove to Chicago. I drove 600 miles in this car, 300 miles down. I quit counting at 15 full stops on 80-90 underneath Chicago. The traffic was brutal. I came back early Sunday morning, never had to stop. Anyway, the car performed flawlessly. So yesterday we go out to do some drone footage with the car, and all of a sudden it starts really squealing on deceleration, and I'm thinking, what have I done wrong in the gearbox? And I'm going through all the things it could possibly be, and it sounds like a slipping sprag clutch in the overdrive, but it didn't make any sense. So it turns out that the alternator was sitting so high that it rubbed up here on this. And so this morning I ran around to Napa and every other place trying to find a suitable belt to shorten the whole work so it would fit a little more comfortably down inside. Couldn't find quite the right stuff. I'm going out to California in a couple weeks. I'll change the belts again when I get out there. But it looks great underneath. Everything came out. I do have a new brake master cylinder. Don't fool around with the brakes. Those are excellent. I rebuilt the HS carburetors. The car did not come with the original HIFs. They're HS, with float bowls around the side, and that works out okay. As many, I put a little yellow dot here on top here, so if you can't find the dipstick, there it is, and some dots on the spark plug wires so we can get those back on correctly. So then I made a hub. To balance the wheels. You know, the row style wheels are centered on the studs, not on the center of the wheel. Now you can center them on the center of the wheel, and it's pretty good, but it's a whole lot better to do it with studs. I'd already made that tool to balance the wheels on my MGA Deluxe, which is like a twin cam, and those you just couldn't balance on a normal balancer. So I made up this hub, and it's a 4.5 inch bolt pattern, so I was able to make some little studs and put nuts on it and got these wheels set up real nicely. Let's look in back here. So we've got the original demister, defogger, defroster, and my University Motors sticker from the original University Motors in Hanwell. They were using these when I worked there in 1972. Gosh, I worked there before this car was made. And we've got this, you know, we've got the nice carpeting and blacked this all up, and this thing is just dynamite. It's got a Chimsel center high mount stoplight, whatever. It goes to the acronym Chimsel. So that's real nice, shows up. And we got these, the spring, these things are just the nuts. I mean, these struts, oh my gosh, if you don't have them, get them. For the bonnet or your boot lid on your Roadster, deck lid on the GT. So it's going to leave today. It's going out to California. So here it is. It was made in June of 1973. Maybe I said that already. And here it is, June 2021, 48 years ago. But for all intents and purposes, this is a brand new car. So let's watch it go onto the shipping truck. after a year of hard work, there it goes, off to California of all places. Anyway, till later, safety fast.